Doing an amplifier review is always difficult because it's hard to describe what I hear and how good it sounds, especially because it changes from speaker to speaker, room to room, and usually a good amplifier doesn't do anything to the characteristics of a speaker if it's clean and it sounds good. That's what I want to talk about with the B200 monoblock amplifiers. Let's get right into it. So these are the B200 monoblock amplifiers that were sent to me by Apos.audio. Huge thanks to them. We've been partnered up for a few months now. They send things to me on the channel to review. I send them back and they send me something else to bring to you guys. So huge shout out to that team over there. This is the Topping B200. So Topping is the actual manufacturer. And these are both monoblock amplifiers. If you're not sure what a mono amplifier is, mono means one, so one channel. And this is the first time I've ever actually hands-on experienced a monoblock amplifier, especially one in my room. Yes, I've heard of them, I've seen many of them, but I've never had one in my application. I've been using these on my KEF R11 Metas, and they are fantastic sounding amplifiers. Not because they do something to the sound, but because they don't. It's just pure power, really clean signal, and because it's a monoblock amplifier, it's a lot cleaner of a crosstalk, or there is no crosstalk like you get in a multi-channel amplifier in most home theater applications. So if you haven't ever heard of a monoblock amplifier, like I said, it's just one channel. There's one amplifier giving you 200 watts of power at 4 and 8 ohms. So no matter what speakers you're running, you're going to get 200 watts with a really clean signal. Now it can give you up to 240 watts, but you start to run into a little higher, distortion. But this is one heck of an amplifier. Extremely clean, no hiss, low noise. I can't even hear noise from where I sit at all. So it is fantastic. Has a high res badge on it. Let's just talk about the physics really quickly. So this is one amp, this is another. I just have this one turned around. So this has the ability to put 3 inputs via XLR or TFS inputs. So you're going to want some kind of DAC or some sort of processor that can enable itself with TFS or with, I just said it, TFS and XLR. I forgot it that quick. So you want an amplifier that can, or a receiver that can handle that. You don't have RCA inputs on these, so it's not for really a home theater use, although you can. This is more aimed towards the music lovers, those who really care about a really low noise floor, a very clean signal path, like what these give you here. So 3 inputs, which is really cool. So if you have a multi-channel setup, or if you have a 2-channel setup with multiple sources, you can plug up 3 different sources to this amplifier. So I think that's really cool. And then you have a switch on the front to switch between those 3 inputs, and then the light indicator tells you which one that you're on. So binding posts are here, of course. They are fantastically built. So banana plugs are obviously the way to go, but you can use hard wire or bare wire if you want to. And then just to the right or the left, which way you're looking at it, of the binding post, you have your power in, which I'll show you that. Let me find that really quick. So you get a really huge power brick that goes with it, and then you have this type of connection right here. So they plug into the back side of it. So pretty big power brick that makes sense for a monoblock. And then of course you have your 12-volt trigger, so you can have these turn on and off whenever your amplifiers, or excuse me, whenever your processor or DAC turns on and off. You have an FW port. This is firmware, so if you want to plug in a USB, this is USB Type-C, you can do firmware updates as well. And then you have a low and high option as well. So this is truly a really nice setup here. They come in at $599 for each, so you need 2 to power 2 different speakers. So $1,200 for this setup here. But you really are getting some of the nicest sound that I've ever heard out of an amplifier. Not that other amplifiers don't sound good, but I didn't realize when you have a multi-channel amplifier, 5 channels, 7 channels, 11 channels, there's a lot of amplifiers in there, obviously. The number of channels is the number of amplifiers inside the chassis. There's a lot of crosstalk. There's a lot of noise in there because there's so much circuitry going on for every individual channel, and every channel has its own input. So if you have a 7-channel input, that means you have 7 RCAs or 7 XLR inputs plugged up, and that crosstalk, you know, it kind of bleeds into the other channels. This is one single amplifier for one speaker. This is one single amplifier for one speaker. So you're getting a signal path that is, you know, undistorted. It's not colored at all. It's one of the cleanest sounds that I've ever experienced. So I really have fallen in love with monoblock amplifiers, but I don't know that it makes sense in home theater because I have 11 speakers in my home theater. I'm not buying 11 of these. each speaker has one. It just makes no sense, right? So for home theater, it's fine, but this is truly more for the music enthusiast, somebody with a, you know, pristine or really happy, really proud about their 2-channel setup. That's what I'm putting these with, and I use them on my KEF R11s in my home theater for a while. I even threw them in here on my desk setup just to listen to them, and they did well in here too. So really good weight, not too heavy. I can throw it around pretty simply, but they are made of a really sturdy metal, so they're gonna hold up well. I have seen a black colored version of this, which looks really good too. Obviously, the silver version doesn't look too bad either, but I'm really impressed with these amplifiers. $1,200 is a lot of money, so when you spend this kind of money, you're gonna want to get a really high level of performance out of them. So with the low signal to noise ratio, with the high power per mono, I think it's a really, at least should be highly considered, if not the only thing you should be getting around this price point. It is really, really good. Again, it's more for the music enthusiasts because you only can connect it with balanced XLRs or TFS inputs and outputs. But if you have that at your leisure, I think you should pay attention to these because these are very, very good. I will leave down below in the comment section, I'll leave down below in the description a link to these on the Apos.audio website so you guys can check them out for yourselves. There's a lot more to them. All you get in the box is the power brick. You get the cable that connects to the power brick, so this little thing right here, and then you get a card that gives you a little bit of product information. So it's a simple setup. It's just about plug and play, and you're ready to go. So if you haven't considered monoblocks, the benefits of them is just a really clean signal. You usually have gobs of power at your leisure, and only one speaker is taking from that amplifier. So you're getting good, clean, low noise, good clean signal, good clean audio from your monoblock, and you don't have all this crosstalk going on between, you know, multiple amplifiers. So it's the way to go if you truly care about the cleanest audio that you can get. So again, down below in the description box there will be a link to one of these. If you want to get 2, of course, just add 2 to your cart. Thank you again to Apos.audio for sending this to me out for a review, and thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Keep this guy out. Peace.